What's going on, everyone? The Competitor here, back with another guide, this time going over Johnny Cage and Tremor. Now, I don't necessarily think this team is his best synergy by far, but it's very good with the current meta. Tremor is very meta right now for a lot of characters like Sindel, Reiko, and such, and the added health is almost necessary. When you have to fight against 1050 health characters, 1100 health characters, and so on, like Takeda Jax, things like that, it's pretty frustrating when you're playing 900 health Johnny Movado or, you know, Johnny Striker, things like that. So, what does Tremor bring to the table for Johnny? A lot of things, actually. Block pressure is a big one, safety on block, hype combos, things like that. This is going to be just like an intro guide to help you guys get started to see how to use Tremor. First off, we're going to cover, some combo extenders. So mainly you're going to want to stay in Crystalline because of his morph ability. What this lets you do is go into an ambush attack at any time. So if you see normally with Aftershock, right? If you special cancel into back Kameo, it's summon. So like Johnny Cage can't move around freely or whatever, so you just kind of call him out. But when you call Tremor and then do back Kameo, it becomes an ambush. So like I can move around and do stuff during it. So that's very strong for hard to blockables, because if we set them to block, they're obviously going to block all because I don't have a human player to help me with this, but you could do strings like forward 1-2, call Tremor, and then you have a very hard overhead low situation. You can obviously mix up the timings so the low hits first, the low hits multiple times, so if they get hit by the overhead, then, you know, it's very hard to block. You have to just make sure that they don't hit on the same frame, otherwise there will be unblockable protection, and you could just crouch block it and not get comboed. But however, on hit, as you could see, depending on when you time the Tremor, that low will kind of make you drop your combo, so you have to go an alternate route. But when done correctly, you get nice 25% off an almost impossible to block situation. The same can be done off of his forward 3-4. So like if you down one somebody and you go to check them with forward 3, you could do forward 3-4, call Tremor, and it creates a hard to blockable situation, just like that, just like the previous one. Now, there are a lot of ways that you can use Tremor for hard to blockables. You know, you can find your own timings with 2-1-2, whatever it may be. It's just one of his uses. A lot of the other ambush that's very good from Crystalline Tremor is the block pressure. So in Aftershock, he has this up punch, which you could see is unsafe. It's -16. So if you did this on block, if you did this as a summon on block, you would die. And on hit, you know, you get a good combo off it. Meterless launcher, right? So we want to be in Crystalline though, because then when you call the ambush, you could do things like this and you're plus. When you call it as an ambush, I'm plus 15. Johnny can jail afterwards. Now, it is worth noting that there is a gap between the Rising Star and the Tremor that they can armor. If they press a button, if they try to duck, if they try to jump, anything, it's going to swing and hit them, and you'll get a full combo. Think of this kind of like Goro Kameo, right? The only thing about Goro is that his cooldown time is awful. And he's a good team for Johnny Cage because it lets you do stuff like down one Rising Star. But Tremor now allows you to do that as well and keep your pressure up. And if you notice, Tremor's gauge is already half filled again. Like, he recharges faster than Goro with the new buff. So that's why I've kind of looked at this team a lot more. So basically any situation that would be unsafe, you could make plus with this, keep your turn going, check them for pressing, bait armor, whatever. Like I said though, if you do Rising Star into this, you have to slightly delay the Tremor, otherwise you won't be super plus on block. Like if you call them early, that makes you safe, but you may lose your turn if they poke. However, like I said, they can armor out. If you do the late Tremor, they could armor before the punch. And if you want to jail the punch, then they could obviously armor after if you go for a follow-up. Regardless, it's very good because on block, super plus, on hit, easy combo, right? Very good. And then you see that you have Tremor halfway back already. Like I said, you generally want to stay in Crystalline as Johnny Cage because of that morph into Aftershock. But staying in Aftershock isn't bad if you're anticipating opening someone up, because like I said, meterless combos are pretty good. Now, the other variation, Metallic. This doesn't have too much use as Johnny Cage, to be honest. You could go into it to make Shadow Kick safe. I'll show that really quick. So, like, if we set them to block, you can do things like, you know, Shadow Kick and then morph down to Metallic to cover you, and then do that mid to be plus. So, like, that's pretty good to, like, keep yourself safe if you're throwing out a Shadow Kick to maybe close out the game, and, you know, it may not be the safest thing to do without Breaker. You could do that. Another thing I like Metallic for is, like, when I get the life lead, you know, I'll just back away or whatever. You could just kind of throw the low projectile or throw the overhead projectile. Play lame, chip them out a little bit. That's another thing you can do, too, is obviously ambush into it. So, like, you know, cover your approach if you want to, like, dash in on them or whatever. So go back to Crystalline, you know, and then dash in, do whatever. That's pretty solid for that. But otherwise, Metallic, I don't really see too much use for at this time. Crystalline is mainly, like I said, what you want to be in for the morphs. Otherwise, it's okay on block. Like, that's -8 with some pushback. You know, it's not terrible. I think they could flawless block it to leave you point blank, though, so be careful about that. The other things to note on block, like, you could do forward 3-2 into the Aftershock forward Kameo just to, you know, push them back or be safe or whatever on block. However, if we set the opponent to duck, you'll see, whoops, you'll see that in Aftershock, that is a duckable high, and it doesn't jail after Johnny's string. So if you did this, they'd be able to duck that and absolutely blow you up. So just don't get too autopilot for it, but it is good for catching people mashing after staggers or creating space. Now, I'm sure everyone is wondering what else Tremor is good for, and obviously it's going to be the hype combos. So, like, mid-screen, if I'm not planning to use block pressure, I will have Aftershock out, because just like Kung Lao and such, it's going to be the same kind of combo routes, because Aftershock, the up Kameo, while it will relaunch them no matter how much gravity's in the combo, but like mid-screen, it's really good to go into for hype combos, because it gives them a meterless hype starter. From anywhere on the screen, you can get hype off of that. In the corner, I'll show you an example combo of what you can do with Aftershock. So, like, let's say you punish a wake up, you could use your stand 4. Pop them up. You know, whatever afterwards. It's crazy damage. You could also still combo after a 2-1-2 starter into hype. Pop up. Pop up. Easiest, you know, 53% ever. And you already have him back, so then you could go into stuff on block. Now, Crystalline is generally what you're going to have out, though, so, like, you can actually swap them mid-combo once you get familiar with it. So, like, you know, you realize you get the hit, you could swap out of Crystalline to Aftershock, you know, do your combos, switch into whatever else. Now, Crystalline is still really good, though, because in hype you could do things like this with the new Crystalline move, this thing where he becomes an interactable. Basically, you can cancel out of Nut Punch into that and continue your combo. Oh, missed the timing. There we go. You know, things like that. There are ways to keep them in the corner. It's not optimal to jump off of them, but using him as like the cancel is pretty solid. But you can mess around with that. I might have a combo video coming out with that pretty soon, but it's just one of the ways to use him. My personal favorite way to use Tremor, though, for hype combos is actually going into them after a combo, because you can see with the ambush after any special, you can ambush into the up punch for an extension. So, like, you know, you end a combo with Nut Punch. Whoop. You can actually pop them back up using the ambush. So, if we look, here's what you could do for a bar in your full Kameo. Actually, wait. More optimal. You can get a full charge back too there. The timing is a little bit tricky. Mistimed it. You have to call Tremor like as Johnny's getting up from the Nut Punch. I dropped the shadow kick, but it does 52%. It's pretty tricky in tournament. I probably wouldn't go for the jump kick shadow kick. I would just do stand 4, but regardless, you're doing over 50%, and you get half your Kameo back by the end of the combo. That being said, you can obviously go into hype there too. So, like, if I wanted to do a hype combo, you know, just, I guess, meterless, we could do, like, And then we got Aftershock. You know, the gravity gets a little bit much there, but it kind of opens up the ideas for what you can do there. Overall, I think Tremor is really solid. He gives Johnny the hype utility. He gives him the plus frames on block to continue his pressure. He gives him good combo extenders. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The shadow kick safety, the hard to blockables. I guess in the corner, it's worth noting, now with like the Tremor switches, right? So you can kind of fake people out. And one thing I've been doing is like, I'll do forward 3 into forward 3-4, and I'll call the Tremor, but I won't do anything. Like, I won't actually use the ambush, and I'll just see like how they're reacting to it. They might get clipped by the overhead worrying about the low. It's the no mix up, right? So that's pretty good to do. But other than that, like, yeah, in the corner, like, this stuff is crazy good. You got that hard to blockable, you have this hard to blockable. You can obviously spend a bar to use EX Rising Star and get more damage. In the corner, it's also worth noting too, is with this Tremor ambush, you actually get a throw combo. Whoops. So the timing is, you want to call the Tremor ambush on the first hit of Johnny's throw. It's like when he punches him, that's when you call the Tremor ambush out of Crystalline. And then right before the second hit of the throw, you call back Kameo to get the ground pound. And as you can see, If you do it too late, he goes through them. If you do it too early, the third hit whiffs. Like that. That's too late. Too late. There we go. Forward one. Bop, bop, bop. You get 20% combo. Throw combos with Johnny, always good, and it's really good because Janet, she gives him a throw combo mid-screen. However, in the corner, she can't do the throw combo. But Tremor, you know, you always want to be in the corner with Johnny. Having Tremor give him a throw combo is crazy. Like, this is super powerful. Other ways to use him, you can actually combo off sweep. So, like, what I like to do is after a nut punch, right, you get your safe jump, right? So you mix that safe jump with, you safe jump in and you can call Tremor and then combo off your sweep. Combo off your low. So now why would they be blocking overhead or whatever? Well, maybe they're trying to duck the throw because Tremor gets throw combos. But then you might say, oh, well, you know, if they call the Tremor preemptively, you know they're going to do the sweep combo, right? Well, now with the Tremor timing, if you call Tremor and forward throw at the same time, you can actually combo off him. So it kind of gives everybody a throw combo off a forward throw. So you can use that to mix up your options as well. So like, you know, safe jump scenario, you know, you jump in, you can do off the sweep. Or if you know the safe jump scenario, you could do forward throw. It's really good. But that honestly may be universal depending on the character's sweep. Because that's not like just a Johnny specific thing, but it's pretty good. So I hope you guys enjoyed the Johnny Tremor guide. Show me your favorite hype combos that you've come up with so far using this team, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Just know that this team gives Johnny extra health, block pressure, insane damage, hard to blockables, really solid. I still think when paired with another Kameo like that gives you a neutral assist like Kung Lao or like Movado or Chameleon, I think it really helps cover a lot of bad matchups or tough matchups. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped.